instead of thanking God for what they have. Your complaints are blocking your blessings. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could spend being grateful. When you wake up complaining, you set the tone for your whole day. God is trying to send blessings your way, but your negative mouth is blocking the signal. Have you ever thought about that? You are literally standing in your own way. Think about it like this. Imagine somebody is trying to hand you a gift, but your hands are full of trash. You are holding on to all these complaints, all this negativity, all this bitterness, and there is no room to receive what God wants to give you. Your mouth is so busy talking about what is wrong that you cannot see what is right. You cannot receive with closed fists. I am telling you, the universe responds to your energy. When you persist in complaining, you create a wall between you and your blessings. It is like trying to get a radio signal, but you are standing in a tunnel. The signal is being broadcast, but you put yourself in a position where you cannot receive it. You did that, not God. Some of you have been complaining for so long that it has become your default setting. You wake up, and before your feet hit the floor, you are already thinking about what is wrong. Your job, your relationship, your finances, your health. You are running down the list of problems before you even brush your teeth. That is not how you are supposed to start your day. God is saying, I got something good for you. But you've got to clear the channel. You've got to get your mouth right. You've got to stop speaking death and start speaking life. Every complaint is like putting up another brick in the wall between you and your breakthrough. Every word of thanksgiving is like taking a brick down. Which one are you doing more of? Here is what I need you to understand. Blessings flow to grateful people. When God sees someone thankful for the little they have, He says, now that is somebody I can trust with more. But when He sees somebody constantly complaining about what they don't have, He says, why would I give them more when they are not even grateful for what they already got? Your mouth is the key that either locks or unlocks your next level. Somebody is praying for what you take for granted. Are you complaining about your car being old? Somebody is taking the bus in the rain, praying for any car. Are you complaining about your job? Somebody just got laid off and would love to have your position. Are you complaining about your house being too small? Somebody is sleeping on a couch right now. Wake up and recognize what you already have. I want you to really sit with this for a minute. While you are lying in your bed complaining that your mattress is not comfortable enough, somebody is sleeping on the street wishing they had any bed at all. While you are complaining about what is in your refrigerator, somebody is going to bed hungry tonight. While you are complaining about your spouse getting on your nerves, somebody is lonely and praying for a companion. You see where I am going with this. Perspective is everything. You think you got it bad until you really look around and see what other people are dealing with. People are fighting for their lives in hospitals right now who would trade places with you in a heartbeat. Some people who lost everything in disasters would be thrilled to have your problems. You are complaining about first world problems while other people are dealing with real survival issues. The problem is we get so focused on what we don't have that we become blind to what we do have. You got eyes to see this message. That is a blessing. Some people are blind. You got ears to hear. That is a blessing. Some people are deaf. You've got legs to walk. That is a blessing. Some people are in wheelchairs. You have a mind that works. That is a blessing. Some people are struggling with dementia. Count your blessings. Stop counting your problems. Here is what gratitude does. It opens your eyes to see how rich you already are. You might not have a lot of money in the bank, but you are rich in ways that money cannot buy. You got your health, you got your family, you got your faith, you got another day to make it right. That is wealth that most people take for granted until it is gone. Stop comparing your life to other people's highlight reels on social media. You are looking at somebody's carefully curated image and comparing it to your everyday reality. That is not fair to you. You don't know what they are going through behind closed doors. You don't know what they are dealing with. Focus on your own blessings and watch how your whole mindset shifts. What you have is enough right now, and more is coming, but you have to be grateful for where you are first. Nobody was born complaining. You learned this behavior from somewhere, maybe from people around you, maybe from past disappointments. But here is the good news. If you learned it, you can unlearn it. You can reprogram your mind to look for the good instead of focusing on the bad. It starts with a decision today. Think about when you were a baby. You didn't come out of the womb complaining about the temperature in the delivery room or the quality of the hospital blankets. You learned how to complain by watching and listening to people around you. Maybe you grew up in a house where everybody complained all the time. Maybe your parents complained about money, about work, about each other. You absorbed that energy and thought that is just how life is. Or maybe life knocked you down a few times and you developed a negative outlook as a defense mechanism. You started expecting the worst, so you would not be disappointed. You started complaining before things even went wrong because you were preparing yourself for failure. That became your pattern, your automatic response to everything. But just because it is automatic doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Your brain is like a computer, and right now it is running old software. The complaining program has been running for years, maybe decades, but you can install new software. You can create new neural pathways that default to gratitude instead of complaint. It takes intention and it takes practice, but it absolutely can be done. Science backs this up, not just faith. Start by catching yourself. Every time a complaint starts to come out of your mouth, stop and reframe it as something you are grateful for. Instead of saying, I hate my job, say, I am grateful I have income while I look for something better. Instead of saying, my body is falling apart, say, I am thankful my body has carried me this far. It feels weird at first because you are breaking a habit, but keep doing it. You've got to be intentional about this because your old patterns will try to pull you back. Complaining is comfortable because it is familiar. Change is uncomfortable, but that is where growth happens. You are literally rewiring your brain, and that takes effort. But imagine your life 6 months from now, a year from now, if you commit to replacing every complaint with gratitude. You would not even recognize yourself. Your whole world would look different because you would be looking at it through different eyes. When you start thanking God for what you have, something shifts in your spirit. You start rising above your circumstances. Gratitude lifts you out of that pit of negativity. It changes how you see everything. That same situation that looked terrible yesterday looks like a blessing when you approach it with thanksgiving. I am talking about a literal shift in your energy, in your vibration, in your whole atmosphere. When you are stuck in complaint mode, you are operating at a low frequency. You are down in the dirt with all the problems, rolling around in the mess. But gratitude is like a ladder that starts pulling you up. With each thing you thank God for, you climb another rung higher. From that higher perspective, things look different. Problems that seem massive when you were down in them look smaller from above. Solutions that you couldn't see before start becoming visible. Opportunities that were always there, but you were too negative to notice suddenly appear. You are the same person in the same situation, but your altitude changed, so your perspective changed, so your possibilities changed. This is not just feel-good talk, this is real. When you practice gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals. Your stress levels go down. Your immune system gets stronger. Your relationships improve because people want to be around positive energy. Your productivity goes up because you have more mental clarity. Gratitude literally changes your body chemistry and your life chemistry. Think about being in an airplane. When you are on the ground, all you can see is what is right in front of you. The problems look huge. The obstacles look impossible. But when that plane takes off and you start rising, you can see more. You can see over the obstacles. You can see the bigger picture. You can see how everything connects. That is what gratitude does for your spirit. It gives you the view from 30,000 feet instead of ground level. Here is the key though. You cannot just be grateful when things are going well. That is easy. Anybody can do that. The real power of gratitude lies in being thankful in the midst of a storm. When you can thank God while you are still in the struggle, that is when you rise the highest. That's when you prove that your faith is not based on your circumstances, it is based on your trust in God. That's when you fly above the storm instead of getting beaten down by it. Stop complaining about the process. That difficulty you are going through right now is building your character and your strength. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. Every struggle is a setup for a comeback. But you have to change your perspective and thank Him even in the middle of the storm. I know it is hard to see this when you are in it. When you are going through something difficult, it feels like it is never going to end. It feels like God forgot about you. It feels like you are being punished for something. But what if I told you that what you are going through is actually proof that God has something bigger planned for you? What if your struggle is your training ground? Think about it. You don't lift weights because it is comfortable. You lift weights because the resistance makes you stronger. The struggle is what builds the muscle. If everything were easy, you would stay weak. God is allowing you to go through this because the next level of your life requires a stronger version of you. The blessing that is coming is so big that the current version of you cannot handle it. You are being upgraded right now. Every successful person you admire went through something difficult before they made it. Every strong person you respect was built in the fire of struggle. Nobody gets to the top without going through something at the bottom. The difference between people who make it and people who don't is how they handle the struggle. Do they complain and give up, or do they give thanks and grow through it? When you are going through hard times, you are developing skills you don't even realize. You are learning patience. You are learning perseverance. You are learning faith. You are learning how to trust God when you cannot see the outcome. These are not lessons you can learn in the good times. These are the lessons that only come through struggle. And these are the exact lessons you will need for where God is taking you. Stop asking God why this is happening to me and start asking, what are you trying to teach me? Stop complaining about the test and start looking for the lesson. When you shift from a victim mentality to a student mentality, everything changes. You stop resisting the process and start embracing it. You stop seeing it as punishment and start seeing it as preparation. And when you can thank God in the middle of the preparation, you accelerate the process. You have survived 100% of your bad days so far. Think about that for a minute. Every single bad day you thought you could not get through, you got through it. You are still here. You are still standing. That alone is worth thanking God for. You are stronger than you think, and your track record proves it. Remember that time you thought you were not going to make it. That breakup that you thought would destroy you. That financial crisis that you thought would end you. That health scare that terrified you. That loss that broke your heart. You survived all of it. You are here right now, which means you are undefeated. Your record is perfect. 100% survival rate. But you know what happens? We forget. We get so focused on the current problem that we forget we have already overcome so much. We act like this is our first rodeo, like we have never been through anything before. But you are a survivor. You are a warrior. You have battle scars that prove you have been through wars and lived to tell about it. Give yourself some credit. Every morning you wake up is a testimony. Every breath you take is proof that God is not done with you yet. You have been through the valley of the shadow of death and came out the other side. You have walked through fire and did not get burned up. You have faced giants that should have taken you out, but you are still standing. That is not luck. That is God's hand on your life. Think about all the nights you cried yourself to sleep, thinking tomorrow would never come. But tomorrow did come, and you got through it. Think about all the times you prayed for strength just to make it one more day. God gave you that strength and you made it. Not just one more day, but hundreds more days. thousands more days. You have more testimonies than you realize. Your life is proof of God's faithfulness. So when this current situation feels too heavy, remember what you have already carried. When this problem feels too big, remember what you have already overcome. You are not the same person you were when you faced those old battles. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are more equipped now. And if God brought you through everything up until now, what makes you think He is going to abandon you in this? Thank Him for your perfect track record and trust Him to keep it going. Complaining attracts more problems. Gratitude attracts more blessings. This is a spiritual law. What you focus on expands. When you constantly complain, you draw more negative situations to yourself. But when you live in gratitude, you open the door for more good things to flow into your life. You become a magnet for blessings. Change your mouth, change your life. Energy attracts like energy. When you are putting out complaint energy, you are broadcasting on the frequency of lack, problems, and negativity. And guess what shows up? More lack, more problems, more negativity. You are literally calling more trouble into your life with your words. Your words of creative power. They are either building your future or destroying it. I have seen this play out over and over again. People who complain about being broke stay broke because they keep speaking poverty over their lives. People who complain about being lonely stay lonely because they keep speaking about isolation in their lives. People who complain about their health keep having health problems because they keep speaking about sickness in their lives. You are prophesying your own future with your mouth every single day. But the flip side is just as powerful. When you start speaking gratitude, when you start thanking God for what you have and what is coming, you shift to a different frequency. You start broadcasting abundance, blessing, and favor. And the universe, God, the spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it, starts responding to that frequency. Things start lining up. Doors start opening. People start showing up. Opportunities start appearing. This is not magic. This is a principle. Farmers know that you reap what you sow. If you plant corn, you get corn. If you plant weeds, you get weeds. Your words are seeds. Every complaint is a weed seed that is going to grow more problems. Every word of gratitude is a seed of blessing that is going to grow more good things. You are planting your future garden right now with what comes out of your mouth. Pay attention to the people around you. The ones who complain all the time, how is their life going? Probably not great, and if good things do happen to them, they find something to complain about anyway. Now look at the people who are genuinely grateful and positive. They seem to have favor in their lives. Good things keep happening to them. They keep winning. It is not a coincidence. It is consequences. They are reaping what they have been sowing with their words and their attitude. You woke up this morning, that is a blessing. Your heart is beating, your lungs are breathing, that is a blessing. You have access to hear this message right now, which is a blessing. Before you complain about one more thing, count how